All right. Here we go. What's up, Quinn? I see you in the chat there.
Greetings to you, Quinn.
Byron, how are you? Good, sir?
I'm doing all right, brother. Just gonna share the link around to a couple of spots real quick, and then I should be fairly good to go.
I'm actually surprised how well she's behaving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's literally on her back, like pawing up the air on a blanket.
Lemieux. Lemieux.
Hold on. She's being cute. Oh. There we go.
Oh, kitty. Hey, Brandy. Yeah, look at the kitty. Look at the kitty. Sorry. This way. Look at the kitty. There you go. She's like, meow, man.
Mm-hmm. Ain't she something?
Good looking cat. How old is she?
Only a couple months.
Okay, so she's still
real young. Yep.
Still new.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brandy. Spoils my kittens. Yeah, definitely. She is definitely spoiled. She's my little assistant now.
And like most feline assistants, I'm sure soon enough
Oh, yeah.
she'll start knocking shit off of counters and what have you.
Honestly, she's not really bad at that. She's
Give it
been
time.
well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if anything, if I go to a room or do anything, like, she follows me. If I sit down, she jumps up on the couch. But as far as like being mischievous, if I'm saying that properly, I'm trying to pronounce.
You actually had it right the first time. Mischievous.
Yeah. Anyhow, she's not like really like most cats. I mean, she's very submissive, which is kind of weird. Yeah, take it easy, Brandy. Brandy, before you go, the only reason why you haven't seen me around, I don't really dive into that stuff anymore. I kind of do my own thing and this with Byron here. So I enjoy making my gaming content and stuff like the Backrooms.
That tends to be our core dive material is Backrooms, SCP, other kind of paranormal horror related stuff. Even the Mandala catalog.
Yep. All right.
She's familiar though. Where do we know Brandy from?
She's been known around like I believe Creek Squad, Workyverse, but
oh, okay, yeah, that's kind of where you and I first met up.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't really get into that anymore. Just
that's
too much
fine.
drama and shit.
Yeah, this is more our speed. And for today, ladies and gentlemen, we have been patiently waiting. Well, patiently.
Yeah, there was some legality stuff going on that I was made aware of.
What was all of that? Was it anything that we need to worry about, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it was something, I don't know, maybe between Kane Pixels and whatever party, whatever. But
okay, someone like who helped with production and whatnot.
Probably.
Okay, well, these things do happen, even amongst folks who are really, really set in a singular creative mission. Sometimes during production or the creation of material, you can end up with folks who kind of view things artistically different, and it can result in an inability to continue working together. That does happen.
Yep. She's just dangling over here.
Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see some products on camera between Cortex and myself, but we are not sponsored by anyone.
No.
We just we're human and we enjoy and need.
I might flash a Coke can or something like that, but I'm not gonna just, shine it right in the camera and, get all that fancy lettering and whatnot.
We are not a mainstream channel or a group of channels that can say, Dr. Pepper tastes much better. It's not going to work with a fucking Shasta can in hand. And hey, I'm not sponsored by them either, but it's cheap stuff. So, and I'm, a cheapskate.
Honestly, I mean, I love Dr. Pepper, but I even think like Dr. Thunder and whatnot, I think they're a lot better. Like the off brands of Dr. Pepper.
Well, a lot of the off brands tend to use like authentic cane sugar, so you don't get that weird chemical taste.
Yeah. Like Mr. Pibbs was another good one.
Yeah, Mr. Pibb. Plus, he's not all stuffy. He didn't go to medical school for giving us refreshments.
Right. Let's see here. All right. Well, today we've got the Backrooms found footage number 3. This is a 45-minute long video. So we might have to do a part 2 on this. But we'll see.
Very possible. Particularly given that we like to pause, analyze, hypothesize, freak out, make a few off-color remarks or jokes, especially if something is like, what the fuck are you thinking? Which, it's the Backrooms. We do that a lot. This has been, hands down, one of the finest independently created or crafted sets of mythology to make its way to YouTube. And while it's great to have high production costs, highfalutin, what have you, I have always been partial to those smaller independent creators who make their way to platforms like YouTube, Substack, Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, wherever, because they have an artistic vision and they're willing to put in the effort to present it to an audience and say, yes, we are not Hollywood, but we have something to engage you. And here it is. It's a beautiful thing. And I always recommend and encourage our audience, look for the independent and smaller creators because they are doing it out of love of the art and not so much automatically for a paycheck.
Same goes for video games and music. The independent scene is so much better. They have the vision more clear than the actual mainstream does. In my own honest opinion, I feel like the vision's more clear in what they're trying to do.
And it's largely because they don't have a ton of venture capital firms or money people, investors dangling the carrot over their head saying, you want to finish that project? Well, only if you put in our messaging of X, Y, or Z, or if we don't like the way this is presented, we're going to cut your funding. Fuck all that. If an independent creator can do it themselves, they're better off.
Yep. All right, well, without further ado, you want to get started?
Let us roll, brother. Brother Cortex, you're joined by your bizarre co-host, Byron Insidious. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is The Deep Dives.
In the Oklahoma City bar. On our left, you can see the Ferris wheel. Over on the right is the food. Straight ahead is the agricultural barn. Look at it.
Back to the hotel that night and was listening to the footage, I realized I recorded a Monsanto exec joking with a DPR manager about a sick kid referring to it as the bug-eyed one. And sure, I like making fun of diseased kids as much as the next guy, but right after that, one of them basically admitted to fault, which, mind you, they aren't doing publicly at all.
Because you're totally not at fault for making fun of diseased kids. What?
It seems like we're getting like some bits and pieces, dribs and drabs, almost like this is stuff that was cut for an editing room floor on other footage.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying the dude's moral ground here is a bit skewed. He's sounding like he's trying to be on the high ground, but still talk shit. Essentially, I don't know. It's just what I took from him.
He's CYA. He's covering his ass.
Yeah.
They said something along the lines of, well, hey, if we accidentally push out the entire county, you might just get that ranch you always wanted. Fucking A, man. Sorry, I think I'm gonna have to call. This is Robbie. I'm a tenant in the upstairs at Fairmont. Yeah, that's me. I was just calling to ask to see if there's anybody supposed to be checking out the downstairs today. Okay, so no like maintenance or anything?
Hey! I wonder if we're gonna see somebody fall in the back rooms.
That's my first impression. Quick question.
What's up?
If you're unlocking a door to go to a lower level, why are you calling out to someone?
Mm-hmm.
Unless your assumption is there's already someone down there. That's question one. Question two, if there's someone down there, why do you have them locked in?
I was just about to ask that. Why is there a lock on a door if you're calling somebody?
Yeah. Don't have a good feeling about this person right off the bat.
No.
Someone there?
Okay, so he's not sure.
I guess that answers the question.
Right. So, all right. With that clarification, then, yeah, it does leave one with the question, dude, you had to unlock the door. If you're not sure if there's someone there or not, why aren't you pausing before you unlock that door? Why don't I see the muzzle of a gun in view as you descend?
Damn right, dude.
Every time these civilians go to inspect spooky things unarmed,
Mm-hmm.
I'd appreciate the horror, particularly as someone who writes in horror.
But the IQ's definitely not there.
No, it's not. It's like, why would you not at least bring a knife?
Or something. I mean, hell, baseball bat, anything.
There you go. That's a practical blunt weapon. For
Kitchen knife.
Right. That like everybody has access to, and that typically you will see people grab a hold of, even in the flockiest horror films. Someone will be like, hold on a second, I heard a noise, and they'll grab a baseball bat. True. It's not going to do you much good against, the unspeakable horrors from Dimension X-17, but the point is, you go armed.
Exactly. Give me one sec. I forgot to put the link in the Discord.
Not a problem. But yeah, no offense, folks. And like everyone who is a fan of classic horror, I'm sure gets this little throb in the back of their skull whenever they watch or read horror as well. The immediate thought of, well, why wouldn't you prepare yourself for the worst.
Mhm.
There is a human instinct to investigate things that kind of pique our sense of something is wrong here. We want to understand what is on the periphery of my observation senses that's calling to me.
All I'm saying is, in the middle of the night, if I hear something that is not this kitten in my hands, I'm grabbing my cleaver and my 12 gauge and I'm going hunting.
Yeah, be armed, be responsible, but be armed.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But yeah.
Fuck me.
Hey, Scuba.
Shit. Hey there, Scuba. Okay. Break it.
Hey, someone here?
Hold on, go back to the window, the sliding door. Shit. There was no glass on the floor as he was approaching it. Is there? Oh, fuck me. Oh, yep, there is. Okay. Saw a few pieces.
I was about to say, if that's the case, then it came from the inside.
It came from the inside. You get the hell out of there.
Right.
No, someone broke in.
Hey, someone here?
Also, just to add, she is sound asleep right now. In my arms.
Haha, kitty. Kitty being cozy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
That's very ominous. What the fuck? Okay, hold on a second. Is it me or was that chair extra dark?
It's very heavily shadowed. Almost like it's a projection from another location.
Right. Almost like it had like a dark matter around it.
Yeah, like it was like draped either in a blanket of some sort, or I guess the secondary question for me is why is it like angled in the corner like a cuck chair?
Not only that though, why is there no light in here?
Right, you got a lower level closet. You put a fucking light in it. Not even
Scuba
not
said
ju-
that's racist.
Oh, because it's a black chair.
Black.
It's a black chair. But no, like outside of the realm of horror, if you have a lower level in your home and you've got closets that are already set back from overhead light sources, you install typically like a quick little chain flick light so that you can see what's going on or what you're selecting from inside the closet. That's just typically how most homes are structured with their architecture.
Mm-hmm.
This stands out a little bit too, just as a everyday thing.
Typically how they're wired too.
Someone there?
Okay, that's another thing. If I'm in my own house and I'm literally calling down in my basement that was locked, and then there was a window broken into, again, where's my gun here? Where's my flashlight?
Right.
Why am I calling out to this possible intruder?
Right. Like you're giving them your location. You're signaling, I'm here, kill me. I just hear in my head the running track of victim, victim, victim,
I
victim.
mean, you're literally calling out to the fucking void here. Arnold.
Yeah. Get to the chopper.
I'm the governor. Dude, it's me, Jessica. Who the fuck wired this house? Why do you have such a big ass basement? What is this basement, dude?
It is really sizable. It's like he's got a whole other level under the house.
Right.
Like most basements I'm familiar with, or that I've either lived in or I've gone and visited friends that they have a basement level. It's not typically set up like this almost bunker style secondary living space or storage space. You would think that's more like a garage, but this looks like it's an entire floor of the house just set below ground.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, though, I know we're about to get into like another scene here, but you see that breakaway in the wall? The hole?
I do see it right around the corner.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing. If that wasn't there before and you know that because you lived there, well, fucking run.
Right, get out. And even if it was there, I'm sorry, that's just skeevy. You don't go toward that alone. You go accompanied by 3 or 4 other people. You just your pals, your friends, your drinking buddies, your coworkers.
Me, I'd be calling the cops. I'd be like, "Hey, yeah, there's this hole in my basement that wasn't there before, but now it is. I need people, bodies here now, before I become a body.
I need people, living people, because I'm about to be unliving."
Mm-hmm. Oh no. Dude. This isn't like the other back rooms. Like where they fell through the ground. This is like
there's a direct access.
Right. That's wow.
I'm curious. If someone or something broke into his home and made its way down here, is it possible it is a native denizen of the back rooms trying to make its way back?
Possibly. Probably one of the mold monsters. I don't know. Or something else entirely we haven't seen before.
Always possible.
Mm. There's that famous lighting we know.
Yep. And I just want to also observe there's no loose bricks or removed bricks on the floor around that entryway.
Mm.
That should be another gigantic red flag that, hey, man, this opening is supposed to be there. No. Just no.
How did you not break your neck? How did this guy not break his neck?
Not break his neck. And did he fall? Did we have a fall
I don't
into the back
know.
rooms?
But he definitely like went straight to like that table.
Yeah.
Looked like head first.
ECW style, and no, I mean,
That's a
nothing's
big
broken.
table. That table ain't moving.
No, I mean, the Dudley brothers did not have a chance to pre-solve this thing, apparently.
Right.
Extra points for anyone who catches that reference.
What the he fell through a cabinet?
Yep. I'm looking for Mr. Tumnus at this point. Motherfucker, where's your pan flute?
That is not at all how I expected him to go to the back rooms.
No. And this is fairly pedestrian looking for a back room setting.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen any like inconsistencies anywhere. All seems pretty standard besides the fucking
The
like
ramp.
the ramped cabinet that he fell through.
Yeah. There's
It's like a garbage chute.
yeah. And it's not, like I said, it's not like what we've become accustomed to, where there's inconsistencies of geometry or furnishings. This all seems relatively consistent and uniform.
For the record,
I did not know this was here.
Oh, there it is. Look at the chair.
I don't understand how
It's the same here. Is that the same chair?
No, I'm saying look how oddly shaped it is.
Oh, that long one kind of right in the foreground? Yeah, it's got a really tall back.
And then there's a stool that's sitting up there for some odd reason.
Yeah, we've got some inconsistencies. We've also got the inconsistency of right next to the door that he just opened. It said there was a sign marking a stairwell. I don't see any stairs here. I see
Not to mention the kind of like that countertop there. It's really low to the ground.
Yeah, it's like shin high. So we do have some classic Backrooms uncertainty here. I'll be right back in one moment. I just got to go pee, brother.
Okay. Yeah, she is literally laying on my arm right now, all stretched out. Out like a light. Burn away. Billy Ray is doing some appearances. Wait, what are you talking about? Talking about Billy Ray Cyrus? Oh. You mean Bully Ray, the Dudley Brothers bully. Yeah.
Oh, nice, Scuba. Thank you for getting that reference.
Here we go again.
What the fuck?
Inconsistent. Another architectural inconsistency.
Yeah. A brick wall in the window and that table pressed against the door. More like it was just kind of shaped there.
Reminds me of a gorgeous old horror short story, The Window in the Room, but that's for another time.
Shows the stairs. Wait a minute, was that dark before?
No, it was not. It was lit.
Fucking hell.
No, it's not.
Uh-oh.
Fuck? You're kidding me? Are you serious?
Oh, look, a microwave.
One fucked up break room.
This is so weird.
There's your AA meeting room.
My name is Todd. And I'm a backroomaholic.
What kind of place is this?
What is this even meant for? This isn't the. I don't see.
I
what
wonder if
it's
that's a
gonna be
real
up there.
skylight.
I doubt it. Here at Async Village, we want you to relax while the end of the world takes place.
What's there?
Buddy, I've played enough video games to tell you, you always take the path behind the secret mobile bookcase.
Yep. Like in most Resident Evil games.
Yes.
Damn it. Where's my Hot Wheels?
Vroom, vroom. This looks a little more like the classic settings we're used to.
Yep.
Furniture store now.
Finally.
Rule number 1 of the back rooms: if it says exit, no, it's not.
Right, I was about to say, this is not the exit you were seeking.
I'm sorry, Mario. Our princess is in another castle.
Yep.
I don't fucking like this. Okay.
It's a bit different.
This better be an exit.
Are you not questioning that singing? Like,
All right, there's clearly some ambient sound going on here, brother.
right.
that should probably be another stark raving red flag that I'm going to die here.
I'm not alone. There's something else here.
Right. Someone else or something else flicking on lights behind you as you go. Something else providing some kind of audible clue that, hey, I'm pretty well fucked.
Yep, it's gonna contort you into a fucking pretzel and then eat your liver.
After carving your face into a nice pate. No, of course, Sam. It never. Here's the thing. It always looks like a door with an exit sign on it, and as soon as you open it, you realize this does not lead anywhere away from here.
Yep.
It's
Just like the
always-
stairways with the signs with the stairways.
Right. It's do not trust the signage. Its only purpose is just to disorient.
Not only that, though, when you were saying something or someone, I think I'm gonna bet more on the something.
Yeah, it may have been a someone once upon a time, but
Right.
not anymore.
Very unsettling.
The audio from a little abandoned mall. I said the audio, yeah, it's a little reminiscent of a certain now destroyed mall.
Yeah, it is actually. Now that you mention it. Oh no. What if he runs into the rolling giant?
Layers within layers, connections within connections, my friend. These things are rarely standalone. There's something more. Oh my god.
I'm trying to leave. I don't want any trouble.
I don't think it cares.
There's a couch right there. Place the fucking door. Something just knocked.
Yep.
Brace the fucking door.
Hello? Hey!
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Have you ever seen the movie Cell?
Huh?
Have you ever seen the movie Cell?
Yes.
That's what that reminded me of, that passageway. When they get to one of the outer cubes in the cell and they poke their head out and realize they're in a gigantic structure.
Mm-hmm. There's also a identical scene in the movie Cabin in the Woods. Yep.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie. This is the epitome of Q-dimensional space. You are not in your proper world, and the fact that you're just running pell-mell without securing any of the doorways behind you,
Right.
it's like these people have no survival instinct.
Nothing. Yeah, not only that, I mean, we're literally looking at a fucking balcony that goes nowhere. A void, darkness, hole in the wall, and whatever's down there.
Right, your options are suck and shit.
Suck and shit, and you got the smallest straw ever.
Yep. Pause it up again, brother. You're piss again. Too much coffee.
Yep. Oh, man. Inhuman, but first and foremost, inhuman at best. I ain't gonna lie, my kitten kind of scared me here. She's laying on her back, and she had her paws like backwards, and she had her tongue sticking out. But I was looking at her stomach, I was like, wait a minute, I hope she's okay. I shook her a little bit, and she just turned her head and looked at me like, why the fuck did you do that, dummy? No. Oh, stretch. No. Kitty camera, real quick.
The Mew. She got some big old ears, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Triforce ears.
Yeah. Not only that, like the hair on her ears sticks out more than most cats I've seen. Like the fur. It's kind of cool looking.
Like just kind of long grown.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm used to seeing short ears, like, you know, the fur being short.
Yeah,
But
kind of
hers is like, it's like little mustaches coming out.
cool. Got a little Wilford Brimley going on there.
A little bit. Nope. Hang on a second here. Here we go.
Now this reminds me of, in a couple of those Backrooms previous explorations where the gentleman got his way out through a tunnel and was in like that little town section.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of reminds me of a little bit. Like they don't look quite right.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the hazmat teams.
Yep, the exploratory team.
Yep.
And it's got that look like these are homes, quote unquote, that the Q-dimensional space that he is residing within does not quite comprehend completely what a house or structure should look like in a human setting. It's only got a vague notion.
The fireplace. The fuck was that? No shit. My guy, that is your cue to fucking run.
Both times that I can recall, a noise like that in the back rooms was associated with one of those gangly structures coming to race, like hunt down and grapple or kill whatever unfortunate person had found their way into the back rooms. Remember the rebar beast that grabbed that first guy and threw him through the floor, like, or was trying to absorb him, and his phone fell out of the sky.
I think it was like an actual just regular camera recorder.
Okay, his camcorder, but the construct, that rebar thing, made one of those noises just before it came barreling down the fucking tunnel at him.
I don't know, because that sounded more human than anything.
A little bit more human, which made me think of the.
Hold on.
That puts me more in mind of the thing that was puppeteering a human in that one animatic.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's more. It's akin to something approximating human.
Yeah, like the noise that you hear there, like it sounds more like a human esophagus that the sound's traveling through, like someone gasping for air.
Now, a quick question, brother.
Yep.
I can see we're about at the halfway point of the video. Do we want to kind of save position here and save the second half for next week?
It's up to you.
What
are you looking at for time?
I'm looking at only about 20 more minutes because we had the late start. Plus, I do have a couple of errands to run with the little one. So maybe we call it a clip here at the scream and let that scream be our introduction as we get into the next episode rolling forward. Plus, we have no idea when the next time we're going to get more Backrooms material is going to be.
Right.
So let's savor this and kind of go over what we have witnessed thus far.
All I know is he should have ran.
Right. Like at the first point, when you see that incongruent hole in your basement wall with no clear, distinctive sign that someone or something pulled bricks out of the wall to create that gap, get the fuck back upstairs.
I'm talking about after all that. I mean, you've made it this far. Do you really think you're going to run into something that's remotely human?
No, there's no way on God's green earth that anything that you encounter from this point moving forward, unless you make your way back into your home through some miracle, you have to assume that anything that may be sharing space with you at this point is hostile and going to eat your face or possibly rape it. I don't know. I realize I just used a word that YouTube is going to be like, red flag.
I mean, to be fair, I did say that Brad got tentacle fucked in the face. Last calling of the nerd, and he did.
That's
Let's
true.
not beat around the bush. He got face fucked by a tentacle.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, there's been so many failures of just going forward with survival in mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trope of horror that I actually do enjoy, but that sometimes drives me a little nuts. I'm also curious to know, like, any of the stuff, the quick flashes, quick cut material before we came into this person's home. What tie could there potentially be from any of that to what's going on right now?
Wait a minute. The tie from what?
Well, like there were all those quick flashes and quick jump cuts before we got to the point where this camera person is investigating their own home because they heard a noise. There were a couple of clips where he's talking about there was some kind of
that stuff. Right. Okay.
right. Like, does any of that have any bearing on what's going on, what's happening to this person now?
Right.
Because as you said, this guy's moral compass seems to be pretty cloudy at best. Is this the same person?
I don't know if this is the same person because they sound two different people.
Right, the voice is not quite the same. So yeah, there's a couple of questions there. Like, okay, if this is found footage, in most found footage productions and stories, the footage is all wrapped together or tied together through some thematic element, whether it be the characters are intermingled or conjoined by some singular event or experience that they shared, or it's whoever ends up having the camera and creating the found footage is someone involved in the events of prior footage clips or segments. The guy at that previous point was talking about he overheard someone making fun of a disabled or sickly kid. Is it possible that the person who's filming this section is the jackass who is poking fun at a sick kid?
Yeah, because that gasp there sounded very sickly.
Yeah, that scream?
Hold on.
Or are you talking about?
Just listen. It almost sounds like a corpse, like the sound that's being echoed through an esophagus is like possibly more so like a cadaver type deal or like a human husk. Maybe something's puppeteering it.
Right, and Sam is bringing that up too. The creature that imitated a human being, that it was being, like you said, puppeteered.
That is true. Well,
so did they?
I think she's talking about the creature, the rebar creature, because there was a point where you remember the hazmat guy that walked through and you kept hearing the guy screaming, and it turned out to be a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's
maybe.
I don't know. Possible.
Maybe it doesn't have the credentials of a human down yet, and it's trying to mimic what that could be.
Right. It's trying to like vocalize or stress, strain in order to reproduce sound. And this is the closest approximation it can come up with, which
almost like a Wendigo in a way.
Right. That howl through the mountains.
Yep.
I'm also reminded of a mockingbird. In ornithology, the mockingbird is one of the most fascinating creatures that we can observe, because when a mockingbird is young, the only sounds that it can mimic are the sounds from the other birds that live in the immediate surroundings, and they attempt to mimic the sounds created by other wildlife around them, including animals that are not birds at all. And the sounds they produce are very warbly, they're very almost unnatural, because they are not sounds that are easily reproduced through the throat musculature of a mockingbird. But then as they grow older and they hear more birds and more bird sounds and bird song, they have a tendency evolutionarily to stick to those sounds which they can easily mimic thanks to the musculature and formation of their throat. However, many mockingbirds also attempt to get close to and observe predatory animals in their environment in order to mimic the sound of predators, so that in the event they are in a life or death situation with another larger animal that's not that predator, they can mimic the prior predator's noise to scare off the new predator. So they rely on the most recent sound they have heard. That would indicate to me, if we're dealing with something of a similar nature, that the last sound this thing heard from a human being was a death scream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scuba brought up a good point about the one that puppeteered the chick. It was one of the other scientists.
Yeah, calling for help, wasn't she?
Yep.
Help me!
Come over here, but her mouth wasn't moving.
Right, her mouth. There was no movement in the mouth, and then the
No.
thing came. You saw its limb attached to the back of her skull.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to, what we're going to see as far as this creature. I'm sure it's going to show its ugly face at some point.
I have no doubt of that. And that will be bizarre and intriguing indeed, especially since we're going to be possibly adding to the diversity of creatures within the back rooms. There's so much potential for deeper mythological building here. And this is a world building project that it really is satisfying to be here at the ground level as it is being produced.
Wonderful, get a skinwalker or something.
Skinwalker's bad, okay? If you're a skinwalker, you're a bad person, okay?
Yeah.
But let me tell you, skinwalkers, depending on which tribal origin mythology you're going off of, are either immensely tragic creatures, deserving of at least a modicum of empathy, or, depending on the lore origin, they are absolute demons that need to be burned off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards option 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we call in the Ordo Inquisitors for Warhammer.
Yeah, because SCP-6448...
Ordo Hereticus.
Because SCP-6448 should not stand a chance against the Legion that comes for them.
Yeah, we definitely need to call in the Inquisition and send in their best Death Watch along with the Grey Knights. And if that doesn't work, Atoma Exterminatus.
Exterminatus!
Completely glass the Backrooms.
Oh man, could you imagine one of the Chaos Gods getting a hint that, wait, there's a what on Earth? Boys, we have an inn.
Yeah.
Just see fucking Chaos Marines marching through the back rooms.
They would too, and I could definitely see like Zinch doing that. The Chaos God of Zinch. And because the expansive like areas that would be in the back rooms would be perfect for them, because they can mimic armies, and they're a crazy bunch.
You see, folks, we can't help it. We're geeks.
Yep. It's in their nature.
man. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to
Ooh.
seeing what kind of critter we've
Big
got.
old stretch.
She sprawling,
Yep.
herself comfortable.
Yep. See.
It's like, why am I on the camera, human?
Yep.
Boy,
She had her tongue sticking out for a minute.
doing the whole.
Yep. Her eyes
Yeah,
were shut and her tongue was sticking out.
Yeah, there are some cats that will do that as kind of a sign of submission. It's like a sign of, okay, I'm going to trust you to just not fuck with me. Please prove me right.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise she's had her eyes closed for the most part. Now she opened them because she knows I'm talking about her.
Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we call a cut to this portion of the show there, brother?
Easy there. Hold on.
Sure.
Not really. I mean, I think we got pretty far for what we have. 20 minutes is pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what we have in the Encyclopedia of Backrooms monsters here, the Monsterpedia.
Do they have a?
I'm sure they do, but it's probably something unofficial for like Kane Pixels.
Okay. I should spend a little time trying to look that up today.
Because there's probably like creatures that like, because I know there's like several levels of the Backrooms, and then there was a fiasco about that. Like something to do with like, there aren't like, I guess it was like some deal where it was like, there aren't actually other levels of the Backrooms officially. It's just mostly fan stuff.
Okay.
But one thing I do want to touch on, because I was just thinking about it, I was kind of losing and I thought about it. The thing that he was running away from when he said, I don't want any trouble. I wonder if that's the same thing of this thing that we just heard.
Oh yeah, we no real idea. I mean, it could be another guardian type of creature that's its own separate problem.
Mm-hmm.
And this is it's a brilliant use of the fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
In most horror film, television, or literature, there's 5 primary types of fear. There's fear of the known. This is rational fears, things that have a consistent element or component of danger or lethality to
like
them.
an animal.
Right. If you are walking through the woods and you come across a bear, you have a fear of the known, because it is known that thing can run you down and maul you and kill you and
absolutely overpower you no matter what.
power. Unless you've got some heavy duty firepower, you're probably going to die.
Yeah.
Even
best case, a shotgun or a really high calibered rifle.
Yup. Even
some bear skulls are thick.
Yup. And they can take a lot of damage.
Yes.
Even phobias. People say, oh, well, it's an irrational fear. No, phobias tend to be irrationally elevated fears of known hazards, such as a fear of heights or fear of spiders, arachnophobia.
Or closed areas like claustrophobia.
While a lot of people are quick to dismiss these fears, these phobias, and say, well, there's no reason. No, it's a rational fear amplified to an irrational level. That is the actual difference between a phobia and a regular fear of the known. Then you've got your second type of fear, which is fear of the unknown, most classically associated with fear of the dark, fear of death,
fear of the underwater, like the ocean.
Right. What's under the surface of the water that you cannot see. It's whenever you have an element of something does not quite reach your primary senses for assessment. For most human beings, we are very visual creatures. We tend to assess things based on their visual patterns and their physicality. Yes, Scuba points out again, fear of the dark.
Yep.
Why are we afraid of the dark? Because we cannot properly see and fully assess the actual threat before us. If we hear something, we can kind of get an estimate of where the threat is or how large the threat is, perhaps even what the nature of the threat is. But because we are visual creatures and we can't see it, we are left to imagine the worst possible interpretation. It's left to our imagination, and our imaginations are powerful things. So that fear of the unknown allows us the opportunity to fill in the blanks, and we are our own worst enemies sometimes. The third type of fear,
Because to you, anything can be in there, even your own nightmares.
right, and something that might be beyond your comprehension, even
Right.
worse. The third type of fear is what I call the cheapest type of fear. It's the jump scare, the adrenaline rush. It's sudden fear. It's when something comes blitzing out of nowhere at you. And even if it's as harmless as the little kitty that Brother Cortex has chilling out in his lap, and you see this in horror movies all the time, especially like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, those classics. Someone will be, what was that noise? And then boom, kitty. You know, it's not like they go, oh, and they breathe a sigh of relief and they turn around and they're facing, macheteing their face.
Embrace the cuteness right there.
Embrace the, oh, so cute.
Overlord kitten there.
Oh, here, take it. I can go from one end to the other. So that's a jump scare. That's adrenaline. There's a sudden, oh my God, it's in my face. The fourth type of fear is building fear, also known as atmospheric dread, which the Backrooms is absolutely dripping with. The combination of fear of the unknown and atmospheric dread is really what the Backrooms seems to excel at, is having the presentation of that cross section between fear of the unknown and atmospheric dread. You know you're in a place where you can sense that something is just beyond reach and is building its capacity to harm or kill you. You're in a hopeless situation that is not immediately apparent in terms of, is there any safe way out? The world, the environment you're in itself, it's why it's called atmospheric dread. The atmosphere of the environment itself is also part of what you're fighting against. You're struggling against not only potentially some other living thing, but the very world in which you find yourself is no longer reliably safe. And then there is the last type of fear, which is far less common. It's referred to more often than not in psychological literature. It is the fear of the self, because we are not entirely certain of our own capacities for survival if we were pushed to the absolute brink of our circumstances and capacities. We don't know ourselves as thoroughly as we possibly could unless we were forced into a corner situation, as the people in the back rooms often find themselves.
Very much so.
So, all
Especially
around.
the first episode when the camera fell through the hole and back into the atmosphere of the normal world. While the guy was being absorbed or whatever was going on with him, his camera had fell back into the regular world.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And that moment is why that first video is so perfect for establishing the lore and the mythology of the back rooms, because it incorporates all 5 types of fear, all of them.
Yeah. That, and like the environment, like you said, it's unknown. You don't really know where you're going, and you're not even really sure if the next room's going to be safe or formatted properly to be an exit. So,
Or to be habitable.
yep, that too. I also wanted to bring this up. Do you know that, because we talked about Fallout and stuff before in our lives, there's a YouTube channel called Shoddycast. And there was the guy that played the storyteller who was in like Brotherhood Power Armor.
Yeah.
The voice actor just recently passed away.
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that Friday that you brought that up that he had passed.
Yep. I wanted to bring that up because they actually took the whole series of the storyteller and put it into one video for tribute for him.
Well, that was cool.
It was like a 12-hour video of all the stuff, but
Damn,
it was all dedicated for him.
that's really cool that they put that together.
Yep. I just wanted to bring that up because I figured it was worth mentioning since we've covered Fallout.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And, I imagine that we'll continuously dive back to that or touch upon that series, especially on our Friday shows.
Oh, for sure. I just, because to me, in a way, like when he did all of his videos for the lore of Fallout, he did the fans a very big service because there's a lot of people that come into Fallout that have no idea about any of the lore, and he describes every little individual detail, like point for point.
He's being an archivist, a historian.
That's exactly it. His character is an archivist. He records everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's just beautiful.
Yep. The name of him is, let's see here, Jason Dameron. And yeah, he had adrenal cancer that he passed away. It spread to his liver.
Oof. Not good.
Yep.
Well, anywho, brother. Any last bits? Because after I finish this, I'm gonna get rolling.
Nope.
Here.
I think that's all we got for now until we go for next Wednesday, which I'll have off. I'll be off work.
All right, brother.
I'll be off next week and the week after, and I'll go right back to work again.
Okay.
But as a storyteller would say, that is a story for another day.
Indeed.
Till then, guys, take it easy. Thank you so much for coming by and sharing the back rooms with us and watching along with us as we dive in. And until then, we will see you all. Well, did you say Friday?
Yeah, Friday for calling the
Friday
nerd.
calling the nerd.
Yep.
Okay. But until then, guys, I appreciate everybody that came through. But we're out here.
Cheers.
Much love, guys. We're out.